Ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year's! It is currently January 3rd, 2020, which marks a special day for the Mr. WaffleStick. I have hit 5,000 subscribers, which is just insane. That's 5 times my original goal, 1,000 subs for the Mr. WaffleStick. It's incredible. You guys are amazing. Wanted to say a big thank you to you for sticking with the channel and sticking with me. It's been a really fun ride. Nice solid roads, and I'm, going to continue it. It's just a fun ride. But, since this is a special day, I thought to maybe do something special for you guys. Walk through some of my major builds from whence I had began my channel. And, fill in some history tidbits that you might have missed. I just thought it'd be fun to do. And, of course, this is a very old world. This is maybe like 4 or 5 years old. Back when, I think, 1.11 was out, somewhere in there. No, it was 1.10, and then it's converted to a 1.11 world. Yeah. So this is the original Waystone, the first Waystone season. Unofficially, I didn't mark it as Waystone. This started as a single-player survivor series that got transitioned into a server after about 13 episodes or so. I only done like 25 episodes in this world, but I'd like to go through some of the major builds. This exact placement, I think, is where I had done my first intro for my YouTube channel. Insane, isn't it? I started at 0 subscribers. I think maybe 5 or 10, I don't know, somewhere in there. I had a cave spider farm up, I believe. But yeah, let's start off with this one. I don't want to go through all my starter home builds, but this one in particular is special to me because it got really good reception. Some people were really excited about this build just because it was different than what people are normally doing. And that's something that you're going to see me appreciate more throughout the video. You're going to see me going through some of these builds and like, man, I really love these primary elements that I have kind of stuck together and enjoyed in the past. And now I kind of build similarly to people in the community, like some of those medieval style builds. I don't see like unique stuff like I used to do. I don't know, it just feels more unique to me. But yeah, the starter home, not much to it. No inspiration from anywhere. I just kind of conjured it up one day. I think it took me like an hour and a half to get the building in place, just the way I wanted it. The more interesting tidbit is the basement. We've just got a storage down here. This goes to a cave spider farm, and this goes to the aquarium. But nonetheless, it is part of the starter home build. So let's go down here. Just fun builds. Using diorite as windowsills. You're going to see that in this world a bit. And I like my redstone doors in the season 1. My secret doors going into like another aquarium, which was my AFK fish farm when it all started out. Friendly animals, you are loud. Cat, you are meowing extraordinarily loud. Now, as for the starter house, that's pretty much it. But when it comes to the first base that I had ever made on YouTube, the mountainside base. I love this place. It looked okay, the appearance, from what I remembered. More practical. It is more free flow than what I'm normally doing for bases. But hey, check this out. This doesn't look bad. Hey, got these color combinations. I mean, who would use cobble slabs with leaves and cyan? Is that cyan? Cyan terracotta. Let me make sure on that one. I think it's cyan. Yeah, cyan terracotta. Purple blocks. You don't ever see me using those. And I was really into my little doors and stuff, so there is a door. We've got a door right here that goes into the bedroom. Here is this stupid thing that makes too much noise. Slendy. I want to kill him real quick. It's because he's going to get on my nerves. Oh, I thought that was Slendy, but it's Skindy. What the heck was that? Okay, so I got some redstone torches. Let me show you this one. Here's a secret door. Love them. This was a whole episode. I had done a spiral door going into my vault room, so it was open. But yeah, I just wanted to do a spiral door. And of course, got some stuff in here, got my good old shovel. That's about it. No other valuables, just a bunch of shulker boxes. I've always kind of wanted to come back to this world and just finish things because it was a fun world. Building wasn't too crazy. But yeah, we got our storage system right here. It's nice and organized. We've got the lift. And back here is actually pretty expansive for the redstone. Yeah. I mean, it's got a dual module, so now I'm getting lost with stuff. There's just a bunch of redstone everywhere. This is for the spiral door, I think. Now, let's dig our way out of here. Make this place a mess. Terrible. So, The next portion is the micro farms. Nothing really impressive at all. It was just like very micro. It still tended to my needs, you know, to a certain degree. Got the pumpkin mellow farm, two of those I think. Sugarcane farm, very minimal, way too minimal. I barely got any sugarcane. And got the fish farm, AFK fish. Here's a cocoa bean farm. Oh yeah, the enchanted library. I love this build. It was just so different, even though it was like incredibly repetitive with the chiseled stone brick. I love my stone brick back in the day, you know. It was just my thing. But a lot of experimental stuff. Just, you know, awaiting me in these builds. Unfortunately, I didn't complete my base area. And the funny thing is, it would be so easy for me now. Like, I could probably do this in one episode now. Just complete everything. And, like, back then, I was doing, like, the micro farms, I think, like, an episode at a time. It's kind of crazy, like, how the size of your projects get bigger as you grow on YouTube. Because, you know, you're trying to impress your audience. You're trying to build bigger than what you had, if you can. And, yeah, I come back to these smaller builds, and I'm like, man, I could have put a lot more effort into this. And finished it off. So, you know, I vowed one episode in the series to come back and work on this world. I might just do it at some point. You know, I got all my tools and stuff. I don't think I have anything crazy. I got a Silk Touch Efficiency 3. Oh man, I must have lost my tools or something, or it might be canes. I don't know where that's from. But that's the mountainside base for you. Nothing too crazy. I think the more interesting tidbits are going to be from Season 2 and Season 3 of the Waystone. But for this world, I'm sure that's it. There might be a handful of you that remember Season 2 of the Waystone, but do note, it is the most experimental season I have ever seen that we have done. And yeah, you know, we slapped together some interesting projects and, you know, tested our strengths and weaknesses. But this is my first base. Yeah, my modern home. I never really liked this build that much. I don't know, it wasn't for me. I love modern builds, but this one just didn't quite cut it. It just looks like a bunch of blocks stacked together. I tried to make it look fancy, but in the end, kind of failed. We got an iron farm above, that's the reason it's so freaking blocky. I came back and done some reorganizing to the place, and it looks better than what it did. It was just very open and broken looking. Now, I forgot, I'd done these farms underneath too. Just, you know, casual farms. This used to be a minecart elevator. You would come under here, this is like a little redstone room. I tried to compact some redstone, make it look nice. And this is where all my farm storage is. I mean, straightforward stuff. Nothing too, like, subtle, you know? It's just right there in your face. At this point in YouTube, I started realizing that I was building small, so I started scaling up my projects. We get the things like the redstone village, which was fun. I just wish I would have finished it. I mean, I feel like there's more stuff that could have been implemented into this build. You're going to hear me say that a lot during Season 1 and Season 2 of the Waystone because we ended the seasons very early. I think this one went for 4 months, 4 or 5 months. And it's the most highly received base of all time for my YouTube channel. I still get comments today where people are like, do a build tutorial on this. Yeah, I guess it's so similar to Mumbo Jumbo's design that I don't really feel like it. I don't know, I feel like I'm just copying him at this point. At the time, I didn't know I was copying him. Like, I didn't even really know Mumbo Jumbo because I was so new to the Minecraft community. And, you know, looking back at things, it is very, very similar to his base. It's like uncannily similar. And I could see why people are like, yeah, you're copying Mumbo, what the heck? No, I love this base. I thought it was great, even though it is, you know, kind of a copycat. Feels like it now. Put the prongs in to make it look very electronic feel. I think we just kind of had the same mindset for our bases. I think that's what happened because I imagined it in my head. I wanted it to be more like the thing off Metal Gear Solids. Was it Sons of Liberty? No, it was the second Metal Gear Solid, where they had like the big rig out in the water. I wanted to make like a flat version of that. And this is what I had come up with. Just like a very technological build that's got some farms on it, but you know, nothing too crazy. Just got the map, a potion brewing station, and a storage system, a manual storage system. Season 2 of the Waystone was experimental, but Season 3 was the peak. This is when we had a bunch of talent builders joining the server. We made an incredible world spawn, had a great time, the energy was great. We were playing on 1.12, so the server performance was at its maximum. People were just putting in work. And I created my favorite base, the Hive. This one looks incredible. I mean, it might not have much going on out here, but for the actual base, man, I put some time into it, made it very comfortable. It's very comfortable, aesthetically pleasing, and convenient. So we hit all 3 nails, and I love it. Here's the personal bedroom. You know, I've got my personal things. I could decorate that any way I wanted to. But for the rest of the build, I done mostly like a bee theme, like a hive theme. Got a manual storage system. Yeah, we got the sugar cane. Got the big old long track. So we got a bunch of sugar cane. It just continues. Here is a patron hall. So we've got people that has paid tributes to my Patreon page. So thank you, Canes. I didn't think I had his username. So and Blue Blaze. Oh man, you guys are just. I want to show that world off here in a minute. Here is the Nether Wart farm. So we got a bunch of other farms in the area too that were connected. I can't even remember all of the farms because I was putting it out on this season, and I wanted to spend a little bit more time at this base, but it's all so compacted that it was easy to get to everything. So there's not really a lot else to show off. There's a few other cells that we can check out if I can remember them. Here is a super smelter. Ooh, it looks kind of cruddy with the redstone texture missing. Manual farms area, so you can come in here and manual farm. This is a cactus farm, which formerly was a potato and carrot farm, I believe, but didn't work out because of some kind of mechanic with the villagers. Here is the iron farm storage, slime storage, and something else. What's this? Oh, cactus storage. Okay, that's where the cactus farm went. Oof, my building style started escalating. Let me just say, I love these designs. It was kind of in between like my generic building I do these days and my creative building in the earlier days. So I was making that transition, and that's like when I was building really incredible things. Like for me, like in my eyes, this looks great. Like just to come up with this idea before 1.15, this is like back in 1.12. We had no idea that we were getting bees or anything, and it wasn't the buzz. My puns. And yeah, ended up with an incredible base to live at and put a lot of time into. A lot of people remember my Waystone content, but this is one for the books as well. This is my Patreon server. Had a lot of fun on here. It was more of a hangout session rather than content producer. But I did do a lot of streaming on this server. You know, just having fun, working little quirks out with the village, and doing other farms in the area, like the gold farm, helping with the storage on it. When Captain Iron, he made the whole farm. So it was like a very in-between collaborative and just fun hangout place. And, you know, built a little bit. I think my favorite one is the Skyforge build, which I had done in one stream. It's smaller of all the builds, but I still love this. It's like a little Skyforge. It kind of looks like something similar. Forgot about this one. This one's for the books, man. I'm going to keep this one in mind for any future projects that's going to include a blacksmith or like some kind of fantasy blacksmith. Done a lot of work on walls. This is kind of where I started exploring my wall designs. And I think, you know, what's currently in the community, I took inspiration from it, and it stuck with me. And I just kept doing walls. So do a lot of walls now in my worlds. It just takes up a lot of space, which is nice. We want to fill in that space. It's relatively cheap. We've got cobblestone and stone. Kind of wish I would have continued with the village rather than going into the modern districts, which, you know, at some point I realized like I'm going to need some farms. So over this way I started to design some farms, and I think I was working on an iron farm that I tore down. Here is a pretty big cactus farm for when I had done it. I mean, for just my little area, it's a little bit too much cactus. Very straightforward too. Nothing fancy about this design. We got these little roadways, which I like. I thought this is really cool. Like a very fresh, pristine look. And then I was working on this, which was going to be like an iron farm. Village breeder, maybe? Yeah, I had a village breeder here anyways, I think. But then the iron farm was going to be above. Kind of like the old modern house build I had done back in the day. This was just going to be a containment area for the storage. There is the breeder. Me and Captain Irony set that one up. A lot of memories on this one. Not much to show, but still one for the books. Believe it or not, I still play in this world, my single player survival. It's in 1.14.4. I guess I know what I'm doing. I'm going to 1.15.1. I don't think anything's going to break. And I think I took down the iron. Oh, I was working on this area. This is going to be new. we won't look at this much. I'm going to go back over to spawn and show you my builds. So here's the thing about my single player world. I still play on it, so I'm just going to stay in survival and show you around. You know, it kind of looks nice from this view anyways. This is the way it's intended to be looked at. This is probably my favorite build on the entire map. This is the monolith build, probably the biggest one too. I didn't get very far in this world, but everything is prepped properly. I can always come back to the series easily and have all the tools and stuff I need to work on stuff. But this is my monolith build. You know, this is me saying, hey, I'm going too generic with my building. You know, got the walls and stuff that everyone does. Taking a step back and going more creative, doing something unique, and came out with a nice fantasy build. I love this thing. I was going to go all the way up to the top of the creeper farm, but stopped because it is too much work. There is a creeper platform up there, though, with some hoppers underneath. Ooh, there we are. And since I have played in this world and not recorded in it, I've got a living area now, and I've got a super smelter in this room, so I'm working on a map now. Gotten a little bit far with it. Still got some to do. Ooh, I love this. I didn't realize I'd done this with the andesite blocks. Beautiful. I think I've done this like maybe a year and a half ago. Worked on these rooms. Or the last time I had made a single player video. Like right after it, I started working on it. I love this world. At some point, I'd like to come back to it, but it's still going to be in the history books. It's been in the history books for maybe about, what, 3 years? Now, obviously, that wasn't all my builds. That was just mostly my major historical base ones. But I didn't do Waystone Season 4 because it was so recent. But I hope you guys did have a nostalgia trip. Some of you, at least, a handful. Guys, thank you so much for 5,000 subscribers. And let's continue this long journey.